Still in Class 5 company for race number 2. We get up to the 1,800 metres, though, for the second event, headed by Chu Chow Kid. Visor goes on, runner-up first up behind Supreme Witness. Spinning Dancer drops into Class 5 for the first time. Dutch Windmill up in trip. He was third behind Le Pegas first up. Sweet Bean, a 5-time course and distance winner. Wonderful Chaser. Blinkers go back on for him. The Joy of Giving run up behind Holy Unicorn a couple of weeks ago. And Gentleman was last on his return in that same race behind Holy Unicorn. Now Chung Fa again. The horses have been on the move. Sweet Bean, he's been back and raced. And Clement Legend, he came back at the end of August. He's had a few weeks back at Sha Tin.
Well, Gentleman is a noted front runner. Interesting that Mega Treasure led his last start last season at Sha Tin, the race won by President Paramount. He was handy in a recent trial in which he finished 5th. So those two may dispute it early. Spinning Dancer from a good gate has the potential to sit on the back of the pace, and Dutch Windmill with the 10-pound claimer going on board in Victor Wong will probably try and be prominent, you would think. I think if Top Ace ends up into that spot, trailing 1 out 2 back for Grant Van Neerkerk, Tony Miller will have a smile on his face like a split watermelon.
Here's Sweet Bean. He's already had a run, as you mentioned earlier on, and Zach Purden rode him that occasion. He's jumped off, and Berto Rispoli will jump aboard, barrier 11, so he's going to find it a bit tricky, Sweet Bean, but his work's been good. I think this horse is just about at peak fitness now. This will be his 3rd run back, and he's worked really well with the blinkers on. The blinkers have gone back on him, so I expect a big run. I think Happy Valley is his go-to. Wonderful Chaser. He's a nice big strong horse. Here's the one you're just talking about, Gentleman. With that early pace, he was likely to go forward. Barrier 10 just might have to work a little bit early, but there's nothing wrong with him as far as his morning track work is.
All right, OK, needs to improve on that last start. We're going to start off, though, here with Chu Chow Kid. It was a big run from the back here, which was slightly against trend, I suppose, maybe on the day that he closed off as well as he did.
He did, yeah. It was a really good run. He got crowded out of the gates to some extent and then really motored home strongly. Had this race have been at Sha Tin 1,400 metres, I would have probably made him a special, but it's not. It's a different scenario. It's Class 5 now at Happy Valley over 1,800 metres. So obviously the distance is a bit of a query. He's been to the track 4 times and never finished in the first 4. On the basis of that performance there, very hard to beat, but the change of conditions, question marks.
Yeah, up 400 metres. Visor goes on him. They're going to put the visor on. 133 pounds worried me a bit. I know he's downgraded. I left him out, actually.
All right, completely.
Yeah.
Zach sticks with him, who rode him on that occasion. There's a few to take out of this next replay we look at, the Joy of Giving. This is the Holy Unicorn race. Wonderful Chaser, Sweet Bean and Gentleman who weakened out of it.
Yeah, well, basically the Holy Unicorn didn't give anything a chance. He went straight to the front and kept improving. It was an amazing run. I thought it was a really good run from Wonderful Chaser. They're putting the blinkers on him just to focus him back up. It's his 3rd run back, so I'm going to side with him. I think Happy Valley's his go.
Yeah, he's got a definite chance. I think the Joy of Giving can win a Class 5, but the barrier turned me off there on Wednesday night.
Yeah. All right, OK. Dutch Windmill's had a start under his belt already, along with Celebration. This was over the 1650. Gets up to the 18 here.
He does. I don't think the distance will be a problem for him at all. The 10 pounds off's a real positive alongside of his name. For a Class 5 galloper, he's quite a consistent type with the endeavour and effort that he puts in. Definite inclusion in the tips from a good barrier.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree. The 10 pounds off will help him as well. And, you know, it looks pretty uncomplicated from barrier 5. OK,
so a tick for him. Amazing Gold we can have a look at as well. We're at the trials here, though, at Happy Valley. Small trial here, but it was a pretty good one. That grey might come into calculations later on.
Oh, well, this is where things start getting a little hairy, Andrew. Amazing Gold's gone from Peter Ho to Jimmy Ting. I can remember tipping this horse in a Class 3 as a chance of winning it. And here he is now on a rating of 25. Look at him just sitting on the back of 2 decent quality horses there in Super Chic and Rickfield. Jimmy Ting's got the horse in his stable now. This is his career basically on the line here. On top for me. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. I don't love him, but I think Jimmy might be able to turn him around.
Oh, I've got him in there. I've got him in because...
So well rated, Paul.
Well, he is, and I really like Rickfield later on, so... yeah, I've got him in there.
All right, so it's
ring-a-ding-ding,
ting-ting for Brett in the first 2. What do you say, though, Paul?
No, I'm going to go with Wonderful Chaser, though, on top. I think 3rd time up, so he'd be fitter than most of these. You know, he's got the ring fitness. Top Ace, he doesn't want out of turn at all, but in fact, you know, he doesn't want at all. He's had 31 starts and he's been placed a few times. Grant Van Neerkerk, I think the horse has had plenty of work And there's a win there for him somewhere. Dutch win for third, and we've talked about Amazing Gold. So we went 7, 6 for 11, but again, exotics, I think, the way to go for this one.
Yeah, look, I'd be happy to have a little each way on Amazing Gold. If you can get an each way price, you want 7 or 8 to 1 at the moment. What is he, 7.1? So at that price, I'd take him each way or include him in a QP. I think Dutch Windmill's probably a solid banker type. Paul and I suggested he's fairly solid from the gate with the £10 claim, so he might be the way to go if you're looking at anchoring one. I'll throw Chu Chow Kid in off the basis of that performance at Sha Tin, but it is a different scenario. And Top Ace, well, if he does end up in that spot, we saw him on the speed map, he's got to be competitive. Had a strong prep with 3 trials, 11-1-3-6.
You can have the glory with Amazing Gold. I've left him.
Thanks.
Left him out this time. But 1 and 6 are the 2 numbers that kept cropping up through our numbers there. Chu Chow Kid for me. I think the 1800 metres will be spot on for him.